What's going on, guys? Over to Kitty Hawk here. Hey guys, I got a few friends that I've been teaching how to play PUBG, so I decided to make a video. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to reposition when you lose your advantage against an enemy if you've been spotted. Also, how to ambush people effectively, sneaking up on people, using the terrain to your advantage. So when you can sneak up on people, it's a good thing to get used to. Also using opportunities to your advantage. So when you're in the final circle, using sound to locate enemies, and knowing when to kill players and knowing when to let the other players kill each other so that you can win a chicken dinner in solos. So in this little clip here that I'm about to show you, I'll give you an example of what I usually do when I play solos. So I like to thin out the numbers, and also I like to get kills. And as you can see there was a guy that's landing in his boat, so I knew it would be a good opportunity to get an extra kill and also increase my chances of winning in the final circle. So I guessed where the guy was going to go, and then I made sure I got into the circle so that I could kill this dude. So once I landed my boat, I wanted to kill the guy I spotted earlier in my boat. I know he would have been coming in this direction, so I decided to position behind a tree and try and ambush the guy. Don't be afraid to take your time when you spot an enemy running. See, I had the advantage because he didn't know where I was, but I also didn't want to give away my advantage so easily, so I decided to reposition to a spot where I could actually have a better angle on him. But just with my experience as a player, I noticed that he noticed me. It's really hard to explain how I knew this, but I just had a sense that he noticed me, so I decided to reposition back to where I had originally been positioned in. And as you can see, he threw smoke, so that was a clear indicator that he knew that I was there. So I repositioned to this position here, knowing that he had lost his line of sight on me, so I decided to just wait here and see what I could do next. And the guy started spamming grenades, so he knew exactly where I was. The grenade was by the rock where I was previously positioned. So he started doing I don't know if it's the right thing, but flanking left because he's quite in the open. But I used this as an opportunity to pick him off of my VSS. VSS is a great weapon in Final Circle because bullet velocity is slower than the sound, and then I just use this gun to finish him. So that was a good example of repositioning and how useful it is, and not staying in the same position once you know that someone knows where you are. In this part here, I noticed there's a guy, he was killing everybody, so I realised this guy was a threat. He'd be a threat in the final circle, so it's always my goal to kill good players early so that I don't have to deal with them in the final circle. So I decided to push up on this guy, making sure that he didn't spot me. I knew that he'd be distracted because he'd been shooting a lot at different players. But I'll fast forward this part so that I can get to the spot where I want to show you what I've done. Doing this can be very risky with experienced players. When you get experience yourself, you'll notice how experienced players move in the final circle and what they do. So this guy was taking out quite a few players, so I knew I had to sneak up on him. I didn't want him to spot me. If he had spotted me, he'd probably be positioning himself right now to kill me. So I just knew I had to use the terrain and use my sound and just sneak up on the guy and just get an easy kill, because getting into an angel, the guy might have a better aim than me, I might have better aim than him, or I could get third partied after killing him when I'm wounded. So I always try and avoid getting into angels with good players if I can. If I have to get into an angel, I will get into an angel. But see, this guy was quite smart. He's looking in all directions, but the one direction that he didn't look in is how he got killed. So I just used the terrain and waited for an opportunity to kill that player. Now this is the part I call the nitty gritty part. This is the part where you've really got to use the tips to your advantage. So using terrain, using rock. I pretty much position on a rock that's covering 180 degrees of my view, so that way I'm protected at least on one side, and I can just guard on the other side. So notice here I was on a little bit of a slope, so I had the terrain covering a lot of my my body. So I just used this to my advantage, and I noticed there was a guy at the building across the way. So I was waiting for an opportunity to see what he would do, and I noticed he had a vehicle as well. So this is one thing you got to do though in Final Circle. You've really got to pay attention to gun sounds. You really got to pay attention to where people are shooting from. And I noticed this guy was shooting over here, so I used my VSS to try and kill him. And unfortunately I didn't have enough ammo on my clip, so luckily this guy was a dumbass, so I just kept shooting at him. I don't know why he just carried on shooting, but he obviously didn't know where he was getting shot from. He was too focused on the other guy they were shooting at. That's why you don't get tunnel vision in Final Circle. Tunnel vision can cause you to die. You've always got to be aware of your surroundings. So even after I killed that guy, I was still looking around, I was still scanning, still making sure people weren't sneaking up on me, because obviously if there was people close, they'd know that I'd be shooting at that person there, so they'd sneak up and kill me if they knew what they're doing. So I use this to my advantage, just picking guys off where I can. So now I wanted to get away from this rock, so but you have to wait for a good opportunity. I still had time. I still had over a minute until I had to move, but I knew that circle was in my favor, which was great. I didn't have to move to the other side of the circle, which can be a nuisance. Usually if that happens, if the circle's it lands on the other side of the final circle, I usually just comb the edges and try and sneak up on guys and kill the guys that I have to kill on the edges, and just make sure that I'm close to cover as I'm doing so, because this is third party central where other players will third party you quite easily. And so what I done after that is I decided to reposition, and I still had plenty of time, but I was just listening out to gunshots, and I could hear that there's guys on my right hand side and guys straight ahead. So I was just trying to see if I could find an opportunity to kill anyone, which would make it easier. But the good thing is you just let them kill each other. See, right there in the kill feed, they're killing each other. So I realised there's only 2 guys left. So where I was positioned, I was quite exposed. So I knew that if I lay down behind the tree, that would reduce my visibility. I don't really recommend lying down too much, but in certain situations you do have to lie down. And I knew there was only 2 guys left, and the circle was still quite wide. And as I was lying down, I noticed there was a guy moving up to into circle. I wasn't too sure what he was doing. I had a feeling that he'd spotted the other guy that he was trying to kill, so I was waiting for an opportunity to take him out quietly, but he kept moving around. He was being smart, so I just bid my time and thought just let them kill each other. So once they started getting into a aim duel, I knew that this guy was hurt, so I used this opportunity to finish him off. And there's 1 guy left, and because I had the VSS, it's a very hard gun to locate where the player is, so I knew that the other guy didn't really know where I was, so he was healing up from his gunfight, so I wounded him. And then the guy actually thought that I'm not so sure if he thought he was still fighting the same guy or if he was throwing grenades at me, but I used this opportunity to kill him. He had no idea where he was. And but anyways, guys, that's my tips video. I hope it does help, and leave a like if you like it, and just give me some feedback in the comments. Cheers, guys.